Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aquarius March 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of you Aquarians over the course of the last month for clairvoyant readings, haven't I, from different parts of the world. It's been great to see you, and if you might be interested to see what is involved in having a one-on-one clairvoyant experience with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, I charge for clairvoyant readings. I have to. But what I don't charge for, and I'm going to make an announcement now, and it's because there is a voice within me which is requiring me to do this. The voice says, you remember how when you were born, I granted you the gift, the spiritual gift of clairvoyance? Prophecy, as it's often referred to in the sacred scriptures. And I also gave you the gift of healing, which is true. And in the course of the last 35 years or so, I provided healing to people in my own country and in different countries where it's been appropriate to do so in different parts of the world for free. I am required, and the voice within, that whisper within, says that I can obtain no reward. It is a complete duty in the service of people to provide this gift to them, which comes from somewhere else, obviously, and not from me. So, what I'm saying is that if you, or someone you know, wants to have a healing session with me, which takes 15 minutes or less, depending on what's going on, 15 minutes or less, absolutely free, check out the information below. Now, I want to make it clear, I do not, it is completely without obligation. You don't have to have had a reading with me, you don't have to have seen me, you don't have to book into a reading, nothing. I don't recommend any products or services. I don't say you should buy this or that. Nothing. It's just done for free. It has to be done over FaceTime or Skype, which works, because I need to see the person, right? I need to see the person, so it can't just be done over the phone. The other thing I'll say is this, is that I've been doing this for so long, there isn't anything I haven't seen. Anyone who talks to me in these sessions, it doesn't go any further. The main reason why it doesn't go any further is that because at the end of each particular session, as well as the clairvoyance sessions, I have to say, is I completely forget everything that was discussed, literally forget it. I wipe it from my mind. It not only keeps me sane, but it leaves everything clear for the next person. So nobody's going to hear about anything, and I don't keep any records. So there's nothing to worry about there. Now, as the subscribers know, so if you want to do that, or if you know someone who might want to do that, welcome to do it, subject to my availability, and it's free, and nothing's asked. I'm going out on a date tonight. I'm getting out of this room, and I'm going to have a lovely dinner with a beautiful woman who is an accountant, and it should be interesting, should it not? And all women are beautiful, really, aren't they? In fact, look, if I'm honest, beautiful women in general, actually, they're kryptonite as far as I'm concerned. I become powerless under the gaze of a beautiful woman. I might pretend that I don't, but actually I do. So we shall see what is in store. No doubt I will find about ledgers and, what do they do, spreadsheets and things like that. I can quite proudly say I have never used Excel or a spreadsheet in my entire life, and I don't even know where to find it on the PC. Now, as the subscribers know, and it's great to see you subscribers, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. Now I'm going to pull 5 cards, right? So 5 is all that we need to see what there is in store for you, because these 5 will speak volumes to us, and that seems to be the case always, doesn't it? So here's the first. Temperance. A couple here. 8 of Swords. The Star. It's a great card. A lot of Aquarian energy around that card of the Star. The 3 of Wands. Yeah, 3 of Wands. Let's see what this is. Somewhere in here. I like the art on this. There's the Prince of Wands. What have you got to say, my dear fellow? Look, why don't you, as is our usual practice, come, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together, and I'll do the reading for you. Now let's have a look at this first card which you drew, which is that of Temperance. So called as the major arcana it is. What's going on here? Well, the image portrays the mysteries of temperance as the art of alchemy, though it bears ordinary mysteries as well. Here is the art of blending different aspects of something to create something better, of manipulating the resources you have in a process of creation, of tempering your activities to ensure that, through moderation, you are productive. Now, the name of this card for me actually doesn't adequately convey the depth of the mystery that it holds, conjuring up images of quiet virtue and timidity. The title seems to ignore the mystical transformation of the soul that takes place herein, the process by which the base matter of the self can be changed into spiritual gold. However, temperance is the virtue most apt for the art form of the alchemical process. Now, temperance really kind of conveys the alchemy of life, the magical blending of the body and spirit. It brings change of an ordinary person into an enlightened one. The number here is 14, as you can see. That is the number of mental foundation, imagination, and will. It is the number of the awakened spiritual self integrated into the material world. The visionary, the alchemist who understands how the energies of nature, spirit, and humanity work together. Now, temperance, I think, here for you is going to melt away conflict. Its magical elixir and balance energy, bringing a rebirth of yourself. And in this process, you will begin to integrate the spiritual and material worlds of the conscious and subconscious self. Our temperance combines and blends the mystical, masculine, and feminine energies to bring healing and promise to you. The process of creation moves stagnation and ignites the life force and imagination with you. You begin to explore and expand your inherent individual talents and put them to use out in the world. Now, the combining and recombining of components of life and spirit until they mix into the ideal mixture of solution will create harmony, balance, and beauty for you. Now, as temperance flows with the inner balance of the cosmic, it guides you to blend and temper the energies of your inner and outer worlds to expand and embrace a higher purpose. Temperance is healing, inspiring, magical, and transformative. It brings to you balance, creativity, and energy to any project, relationship, or endeavor that you are pursuing. Its calming energies will bring harmony and peace to anything that is in disharmony. Really a fantastic energy for you to have at this time of year. Now, there's a major arcana here. Let's have a look at it. Let me see what's going on in the image. Okay.
Well, of course, you can read these cards as you like, but this is what I take from them. And what we see here is, let me think, you will have heard of Mary, the mother of the Christ. And devotion to Mary is widespread and old, going back to the 300s at least in Western and Middle Eastern tradition. Now, she is praised by many names and has manifested to her devotees across the world in many forms and at many times. Now, this particular form of Mother Mary, represented here, is the star, I think, Our Lady the Star of the Sea, also known as Stella Maris. You'll often see churches or schools called Stella Maris. Stella Maris means Star of the Sea. And I notice up here that would be the pole star by which sailors use to guide themselves and navigate, and have done so since ancient times. Now, as Stella Maris, Mary is a sign of hope and guidance for those lost in the darkness. She provides mercy to those on the metaphorical seas of life's troubles and brings them safely to shore. There's a lot of Aquarian energy imbued all over this card and all through in it. Now, you'll notice down here that the star's number is 17. Now, numerologically, what I can say about 17 is that it is the number of dreaming, promise, perception, and imagination. It brings spiritual evolution by finding your true self, the treasure within your heart. Now, this energy here is offering you guidance, wholeness, inspiration, and focus on your path towards understanding your destiny in the universal plan. It reminds you that the universe provides you with a continuous light that shines on your individual path as you travel through life's experiences. And when you feel lost, or experience a lack of hope, or find yourself avoiding situations, the star shines brightly on your true inner self. It guides you to trust your inner voice and your intuition, and to open up and receive the light. By receiving the universal light, you connect to a deeper understanding, which leads to healing, increased self-esteem, self-love, and self-trust, which then opens you up to receive cosmic inspiration from the divine. This star energy brings hope and healing. And the star shines with focus, sparkles with imagination, glistens with understanding, and penetrates your heart, mind, and spirit with love and light. The star heals you so you can shine your light of inspiration, hope, and confidence onto your world. It allows you to be a star in how you think, feel, and love by understanding yourself and others. And the star brings you this month the gifts of peace, faith, healing, and a new, refreshed outlook for the future. Fate, fame, imagination, and good fortune can shine on your path with this star's energy. Wish upon a star. Let your destiny unfold, and let the magic you begin. You are a star on this stage of life. Now, where shall we go to next? I think we might look at this. Now, there's obviously an Egyptian theme going on here, thanks to these things that we can see. What do we have in the picture here? Well, we have camels which are laden with treasures, which this fellow, I think, will use to further his trade and his dominion, and because he's a great merchant, and before him are 3 slaves, bedecked in gold, similar to their master. And they show this young man reverence, and they have laid before him sacks of spices and incense. They have also presented him with a chest filled with his profits and fine dyed materials. Look, most of these materials are dyed a stark purple, a colour seen in the ancient world as a status symbol. Now that was called Tyrian purple. Its colour did not easily fade, and instead became brighter when worn and exposed to sunlight. Now the dye was sold at high prices, and so only the richest of people, of course, could afford it. But notwithstanding the riches of people back in the olden days, this energy here brings you vision and foresight as you move forward in your quest of self-discovery and creation. It presents an opportunity and new beginnings, bringing success, energy, creativity, and just flat-out good fortune. Now this Three of Wands radiates new energy and creativity, bringing tremendous potential. The expanding energy brings excitement, renewal, and growth. Everything flows in synchronicity. Now, the key to this energy is to connect with the energetic life force of inspiration and move forward with confidence and courage towards new worlds of exploration. And its gifts are trust, intuition, and faith. The Three of Wands really here, I think, symbolizes the adventuring soul for you this month. The Three of Wands burns with passion, integrity, and commitment that wants to be maintained on all levels. Now, when you are confronted with confusing or conflicting thoughts or situations, check in with your body, mind, and spiritual values. If they are not in agreement, take action to balance and realign them, moving forward to a position of honor and strength and not from overreaction. The body, mind, and spirit should always be moving in the same direction, and compromising one of these three aspects compromises your integrity and your vision. But you should welcome the appearance of this Three of Wands because it brings creation, growth, and renewal. Good fortune is going to shine on your path. Difficult experiences begin to move away. This brings success, accomplishment, and new opportunities. It reflects teamwork and strong partnership. It can signal the birth of a child. It presents a time when you are finding your true purpose. Something you have been wishing for has the opportunity to manifest in a greater form than you have been wishing for. And what you have been wishing for has the opportunity to manifest in a greater form than you have imagined. Physically, it brings a strong life force to you. Mentally, it brings a powerful, creative imagination, and spiritually, it brings deep insight and awareness. Your life is, I think now, in sync with the natural order of things, and you are in the right place and at the right time to start your adventures and to explore new horizons. Now, there is a moment, though, of confusion, I think, that's coming. I just get this feeling, for some reason, of a confusion around. It's only temporary, I think. And I think it's due to this. And what does this have to say? Well, let's look at the image first. Now, this is Viking imagery here, because we see a man, almost naked, bound to what is called a knitting pole. Now, in the Viking times, that pole was used to curse an enemy, and usually a horse's head was stuck on top of it, and then it was pointed in the direction of the enemy. Now, in this image, his hands and legs are tied with strong rope, which also gags him so he is unable to speak. Now, although he's not blindfolded, His eyes are closed, and he strains with every muscle against his bindings, but to no avail. Around him, swords stab into the frozen ground, and atop this knitting pole is the clean skull of a horse. Now Odin's ravens tug at the red strings that weave among the swords and create a web from which hang 3 runes: Isa, meaning ice, Berthro, meaning secrets or the hidden, and Hagalas, which is, what is that? That's a hailstorm and challenges. And the runes together work their magic to keep the man frozen in place, beaten down, and his plight hidden from others. Now, the astrology of this card is that of Jupiter, ruling the first decan of Gemini, which is the 21st to the 31st of May. Now, Jupiter, as you would know, is the ruler of Sagittarius. And to get into Gemini, it literally has to go to the opposite side of the zodiac wheel, 180 degrees away, and it is going to be therefore in detriment. So Jupiter, the planet of expansion, philosophy, and pushing forward, is weakened, and the inquisitive nature of Gemini further inhibits Jupiter. So what we have is a weakened Jupiter, and that means that maybe you can't get what you want just now due to too many, which is a Gemini aspect, distractions, which may or may not be self-inflicted. So there could be worry coming about from thinking too much. You have a brilliant mind, but sometimes it can run down a number of different foxholes, can't it? And therefore you can sometimes have a difficulty in making a choice. It's almost as if there's a sense of self-sabotage in here, or a fear of failure, or even just holding yourself back, or quitting before you start because you think you are going to fail with something. I can't understand why that should be with you, particularly at that time and all these great other energies coming around you here. So what my suggestion is this, is to let things rest and develop on their own for a while, because as long as doubt concerning these decisions remains, don't go for anything new and major. Jupiter is the harbinger of unforeseen and unexpected change for the better, and the problem which might seem unsolvable now will find its own solution in its own way. It's very possible that you could be having, in an overall situation, something of a hard time making up your mind about what is the best option for you to take. Now, with that great mind of you, you look at all the different alternatives of things as a rule, don't you? So you could be having what I call analysis paralysis, with your energy scattered, like Gemini, on endless unproductive thoughts. But as I say, take the time out. Do something different and let Jupiter come in and do its work and let things settle. Then you can come back and look at things with new eyes and ask yourself, what alternatives are you torn between now? Just relax and let things develop, and say this to yourself: I am relaxed and I trust life. Now, below this card is this thing, and I think this might be the end, is it? Yeah. Oh, here's another Egyptian thing going on. Now, this is, you may have already have heard of him, this is the ancient Egyptian god Set, the god of the desert, that fought against Horus and killed Osiris, so that Set, he, might usurp Osiris's throne. Now, very often to the people of the time, the people in ancient Egypt, he was the enemy of all that was good. But ancient sources present a different image. He was both a rival and a helper of the good gods, it was thought. And what was also interesting is that he was associated with the color red, And some texts that I read years ago said that he had red hair and skin, and that Setian personalities were typified by red hair and fair skin complexions, and they were easily angered. But what he is doing for you this month is that he is bringing passion and creative energy into action. Now, his desire to express spiritual unfoldment is there to unfold into the physical world. There is a restlessness inside him, urging him to advance forward and start something new. He represents the awakening of life force and creativity that needs an outlet to channel into transformation. He is the ultimate adventurer, passionate and energetic, and with a great love for life. And he brings you the gifts of vision and intuition, which flow through him with universal inspiration. Now, this prince here for you, I think, is the messenger of unexpected news that is favorable. He's bringing good surprises, new work opportunities, offers and announcements. And the prince indicates change, new beginnings, as well as new creative projects and new ideas and new possibilities opening up for you. Ideas and projects that you have underway are going to come into fruition. He ignites excitement, taking risk, fearlessness and courage to take on any challenge. He sparks passion, creativity, and brings a sort of a divine inspiration into your being. He indicates a time for you of great confidence when you start really trusting yourself and your intuition. And he brings an exciting invitation to a new adventure that awakens your life force. He brings influential people, perhaps, who inspire you to explore new thoughts and ideas. And the prince represents a passionate new romance, perhaps, or a lover, or a very good and faithful friend. He signals restlessness, an inner stirring, urging you to move forward toward a new and different direction. He indicates a time for inner growth, exploring the spiritual self and discovering your bliss. He awakens your spirit, daring you to express your individuality and personal power, which I have no doubt you will be doing. Great spread of cards for you. Good job, you.
Well, I think I really enjoyed doing that reading for you. Honestly, I did. I thought the artwork was pretty interesting, didn't you? I thought so. This deck, for some reason, really seems to speak to me. And I hope that you enjoyed the reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. You're a very special person, and I love doing readings for you. Now, there's one thing I want you to remember until I see you next time, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. So until then, it's bye for now.